Good morning and welcome to the Angel and Tina morning show. We're so excited to have you here. Tina, how are you doing today?
Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, that you're back.
You make it sound like, I was gone forever.
Well, I feel like we've been, because I took a vacay and then you took a vacay and I didn't come back as like dark and all that, but you came back dark.
Yeah, I just spent a week in Mexico.
She's just like glowing.
I really am. And my skin had not seen sun really in a year, and it didn't know what to do with it. I wasn't as I don't know, generous with the sunscreen on day one, but I ended up doing this spa treatment where they pretty much like rub you with ice cubes, like this ice gel for an hour to help your skin recover from the sun. But I am back. I got to spend a week in Mexico. It was really nice to have a little vacation. And I know, and Tina was on vacation before that. So yeah, it does feel like it's been a month since I've seen you, but look at these gorgeous, gorgeous guests we have in our studio with us today.
All over I was going to say the world, but it's just the country.
From the country. Well, we are
next week.
Yep. Our Connect Summit is in 1 week, 1 week from today, March 31st. Mark your calendar for the last Wednesday of every month for the Connect Virtual Summit from 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, from 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
2 to 7.
2 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So join us next week. Our series that we are focusing on for the month of March is our Speaker and Media series. So if you're going to leverage speaking, you're going to leverage media exposure, all to grow your business, this is the absolute place to be. And we have some absolute rock stars as our speakers next month. Zondra.
Angel, do you know in 2 weeks, there's like a big thing happening here on the Angel and Tina morning show. Do you know what it is?
I do know that in 2 weeks, it's our 1-year anniversary of the Angel show.
1 year ago. In fact, yesterday it was 1 year that we did our first Connect Summit, our very first 28 speakers in 2-day Connect Summit that Angel and I did while I was sitting at the Tampa airport on my way to San Diego. And I'm telling her, all of my speaking engagements just got canceled. What the heck are we going to do? How about we do our own virtual summit? She's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do this and let's do this. Oh, we should call it this. We should call it this. And like within 3 hours, we went live. We told everybody about the summit. I think by the time I got to San Diego, the summit was completely full in like less than 12 hours. We had like 50 speakers who wanted to speak. She's like, what are we going to do? And I was like, well, we can't have like a 10-day summit. I was like, let's just choose this one and then maybe we'll do another one, I guess, afterwards. And so we did a 2-day summit, which we knew right off the bat that it was going to be too much for us. And it was. After 2 days, we were like,
it was a lot to pull together. You think a virtual summit isn't nearly as much work as a live summit, and it's just different, right? It's just different when you pull together a virtual summit. But
in 10 days, Angel, 10
we
days.
did, and I think what was so amazing about that, and you guys have all seen this, and is that the ramp up time. People didn't have to travel. They didn't have to get a babysitter. They didn't have to make travel plans. So they could attend. And we had over 1,200 people register for that very first summit, which was amazing in a 10-day period of time to be able to get that type of response, right? Because we'd never seen that in a live event, right? Not with a lot of ramp up, a lot of advertising, a lot of marketing to go into it. And so this is our 1-year anniversary, but this year we've changed it up a little bit. We have an entire speaker team that has come together for the entire year to support you, to give you everything that you need, to serve you in a really beautiful and authentic way. And this month's speaker group is part of our full speaker team. We have Zondra Evans from the Zondra TV network, Suzanne, Tulien, and Katia, Rave are joining us as our speakers. We also have two panels. That will be on the event next week as well. In fact, I was going to pull up.
We can put the event link. So if you go to connectvirtualsummit.com, you can grab your free ticket. I think there is a VIP ticket in there too, but they are free complimentary tickets. Grab a friend, ask, invite a couple other people, share it on social media. You might get a free gift in the mail if you do so, and share that out and get some people to come to the event. But it is March 31st from 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be Angel and I hosting the event, and these amazing speakers that we're going to have on today to share with you their top tricks and tips on how to get more exposure, get yourself out in the media, get better speaking engagements, all the things that all of you speakers want to do. And then April 6th is the Angel and Tina Morning Show, 1 year anniversary. 1 year. We're gonna only do this for 2 weeks.
I know. I kept thinking it was gonna be short-lived, right? I had no idea that we would still be doing this a year later. And I want to just tip my hat to Zondra Evans with the Zondra TV network. She is our producer. She digitally streams the Angel and Tina Morning Show on the Zondra TV network. And she has just been an absolute rock star supporter, collaboration, business partner. And she's going to be speaking next week on the summit. Miss Zondra, how you doing today?
I am doing very well, Angel and Tina. I'm doing good.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Where are you coming from today?
I beg your pardon?
Where are you coming from?
Dallas, Texas, right here in the studio. In Dallas, Texas. So
filming a lot. You've been in the studio a lot.
Yes. I mean, it's like nonstop. I mean, even this week we have people fly, coming from Austin. We've had people flying from San Francisco and Boston and Los Angeles. It's just crazy. Like we are just building. So it's fun though. It's fun.
I need to make a little trip over. I went to San Antonio. We were going to try to see each other, but we couldn't. But I think I need to make a special trip.
Right. She's got a new studio. I think I was there a year ago. It was last February. I came in and
was in right came to the Orlando trip with us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, we started out, humble beginnings. I always tell people, don't minimize humble beginnings. Where we started and where we are today is like leaps and bounds and in the right direction. And the new Zondra TV network is up.
Ooh. So where do we want to go? Zondra, what's the website?
It's ZondraTV.com. It's the same.
ZondraTV.com.
But
same. Okay.
The new look, the new brand. I mean, there's time, part of the process is that you have to sometimes rebrand. Mm-hmm. And so we went through a rebranding stage, and we're positioning the company for the next brand, because there'll be another iteration of it, and that'll probably be the final hoo-ha. But you go through these transitions of brand just to try to kind of bring it in and hone in on what we're really trying to do. So
okay, Zondra, Angel and I always try to get this right every single time. We always say that the Angel and Tina Morning Show is streamed on whatever, and
I know, it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Like, oh.
this is wow. Like legit. Look at all those shows she's got. Look at how many different productions that are coming. I'm still scrolling.
It's so funny because Zondra was one of our first speaker, our first guest on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. And she said that she's starting this new thing, and that she only wants, how many did you want at first? 5?
5.
And how many did you end up with?
Well, I ended up with 12 and 20.
13, 14,
but now we are going to have 26 different produced shows on the network by the end of the year, and more producers are coming. And yesterday, I guess I kind of let this out. I had a movie production company that has 30 different movies, but they have no distribution. Yeah. And so, Angel, I think you naming me Zondra Distribution Evans has helped me. Because we have a big distribution. And so they, came to the table yesterday to talk to me, and I'm like, yeah.
Zondra lives in Dallas, right? And usually the big D stands for Dallas, right? The big D is Dallas. I'm like, nope, it is distribution. Yeah. Because Zondra absolutely has.
Network, it is distribution.
Distribution.
Okay, so tell us how far and how many people ABC. Actually, because we always get our numbers. Like, we're always putting like these little numbers on there. She goes,
more. Well, I mean, our potential reach is about 250 million. But we, you know, if you look at what we're doing on a monthly basis, I guess I'll share with you, because we got picked up by another network in 20, Black Contemporary TV Network. Last month we did 780,000 people viewed the network. And so,
Wow.
that's unheard of in a month, right? And then, getting picked up and being able to do stuff with Hulu, we can target commercial advertisement around all of Hulu's content, whatever genre you would like. And so I've ran that the last 2 months and got like 35,000, people seeing the commercial that actually drives them back to Zondra TV Network. So we have a plethora of distribution, not to mention we're on Comcast cable as well. It's regional, but we're getting anywhere from 25 to 30,000 views a week. I'm on every Wednesday morning in DC, Pennsylvania and Delaware. And so we get about 30,000 views. And, cable, you can kind of track. Did people churn the channel? And so, Comcast has been like, this is unbelievable. They go to the channel and they stay on it on Wednesdays. So that's kind of cool. And then I had the Black Contemporary TV folks say, some people are calling in or writing in, and they were like, we love that woman on Sunday morning, because it's a live stream at 10 a.m. And he was like, but they didn't say what time. And who are you talking about? It's the woman with the big smile. I love her talk show. And he's like, oh, you're talking about Zondra. So, a lot of people are watching on Sunday morning and again on Wednesday. It's just the next evolution of exposure. Mm-hmm. And I think, I'm going to talk about digital, the digital footprint, I don't think
there's any people right now that watch cable. It's
a few. I mean, back east, I think some people still do. I mean, they still have cable in their home. But, streaming is the way that people are ingesting information.
Netflix and Hulu and Roku and, Apple TV.
And Amazon and Apple and Chromecast.
I used to say that the coveted logos were like ABC, NBC, CBS, right? Fox. But now it's these digital streaming platforms that you're seeing everybody on. Well, I want to bring Suzanne into the mix. Suzanne is our brand clarity expert. We were talking about branding and rebranding and leveling up. And that's totally Suzanne's expertise in that space.
I have my books.
I know I've got Suzanne's. I know she's got them behind her. How you doing this morning, Suzanne?
I'm doing pretty good. My mind is spinning. Lots going on. Lots of balls in the air for sure.
Where are you coming from, Suzanne?
I'm from Colorado Springs, where Miss Angel used to be.
It's a little colder there.
Yeah, we had some snow this morning. This week is pretty cold. We had a storm over the weekend, and then this week is pretty cold. But I'm heading to Scottsdale, Arizona for the weekend, so I'm ready for some sun and golf.
I've had a ton of people reach out to me in the last couple of weeks with weather reports and showing us and like our old neighbors trying to get their snow blowers up and running and so
you miss us yet? She's
like, I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. Well, okay, so Suzanne, you're our brand clarity expert, and so what do you think about like companies like rebranding, and do you deal with that a lot? Do people hold on to their old brand for far too long? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I have a blog article about that I'd love to share at some point. But a lot of times I hear, and Zondra seem to really understand the true nature of rebranding. It's really recreating a value position and expanding a market and changing, the whole infrastructure of the brand and what it's focused on. Versus a lot of times people say they're rebranding, they're just putting new coat of paint on their logo, right? And I call it putting lipstick on the pig, right? You're not changing anything inside of it. You're just changing the external piece.
Right.
That's not true rebranding. Your visual is one thing, but the visual is just an icon that represents the brand's value. And so rebranding is really a construct that you go in and re-evaluate and assess your value position And generally that means new target audience, new products, you're shifting the value position. So that's what true rebranding is about.
Tell us a little bit about your book, Suzanne.
Personal Brand Clarity. I launched on this show on October 21st. Thank you very much again for having me on your show, the day of my launch. But it is about really you leveraging who you are as an entrepreneur to grow your business in your value position, not your product or service, because I guarantee you have competition out there that's selling the same thing, right? So you are the true differentiator in your brand. So when you begin to really go inward and look at who you are, you're the snowflake, right? You're the unique position. And how you go about delivering what you deliver is what, when we go deep and understand what that is where we can make it tangible and change customer experiences, change our delivery, change everything that makes us memorable and unique. And personal brand clarity is really the whole process of how you go about doing that. It's actually a workbook, and it's.
I'm glad you said that, because I always pull 12 books every year that I'm going to read, and I'm reading Eat, Pray, FML right now, and actually the author is going to come on April 7th. But in May, I have my Brand Clarity book that I'm going to read. Like I always kind of offset them, off one personal book, one business book, personal book, business. Yeah. But your book is in my May wheelhouse. So
awesome.
I'm glad it's a workbook that you can kind of work through it as you are rebuilding and getting that clarity that I think every entrepreneur needs, that clarity, what they're offering, what their services are, and who they are, because you do get kind of caught up in that competition and the imposter syndrome when you're seeing all these things on social media and are like, why does she do this? And how come she's getting all these people? And how come I'm not getting all these people? And you start getting into that and you guys start getting into your head.
It's a vicious cycle, yeah. Tina. And that's what I want to try to pull people away from. They get stuck in this, what's happening in their external environment and all the doing instead of the being. And they get vulnerable when they're not internally driven. And they can't be internally driven if they're not aware of who they are and what they bring to the table. So my subtitle to this book is Identify, Define, and Align. That's the key to become what you want to be known for, right? So it's the alignment piece that is really where all the work is. And that's making who you've discovered yourself to be tangible out there in the world. And that's how you create a difference.
I love that doing versus being. I think that so often we think, okay, if I check this box, check this, I'm doing all the right things, that we get ourselves so caught up in that exterior and comparison, right? We always say comparison is the thief of joy. And it is our own journey. It is our own journey. When we watch Zondra and you see her as, this icon in the digital streaming space, but you don't see what she did to get here and who she became in order to be this leader, this pioneer in the space, leading the way with this many, with this many producers is pretty awesome.
A lot of women do that too, because we see all the external things on social media, on Facebook, all the great things that everybody's doing. Oh, they're launching books and shows and everything like that. But you don't see, unless you're like in their inner circle, like Angel and I can see all the things that Zondra had to go through and the struggles and whatever. And Angel and Zondra see the struggles and stuff that I go through. And, we see that. But the outside world don't see that. They don't see the crying and the struggles and is this ever gonna, and I don't think this is gonna work, and when is this gonna happen, and I don't know what is going on, and what's, like all these doubts that you have, and especially as women, like, because we have all these balls that we're juggling in the air, our family and no relationship. I mean, you guys have relationships, but not me.
You have a lot of relationships. You have a lot of relationships.
You do. People love you. Stop it. but can I throw this in? I know this is just not open discussion. I feel like we're having a round table, but I have to say this. You know, when I really think about it, it's almost like, you know, who do women dress for? They really don't dress for a man. They dress for other women to go like, oh my God.
Like, oh my God,
you're on fleek today.
Oh my God, your shoes are on point. Rock it, girl.
I love. What did we do when we got on here? We talked about, oh yeah, you know, we do it for each other. And the same thing applies when it comes to business. You know, are you really doing it because it's like ingrained in you and it's your sweet spot of who you are? Or are you just trying to I'm leveling up? And we've misused leveling up, that people are leveling up to things that are really not who they are, and it's not their sweet spot. But when you really get in touch with that, and so Suzanne, I love what you said. When you get in touch with that thing that says, this is who I am, and then build from there and do the right alignments, then things start to happen. So that's Suzanne, you're amazing. I'm going to get your book.
Right? And that's the key, align. And I think that is so important for every entrepreneur, women or men, but I you know, because we kind of go towards women.
Well, and Katia, you cover this also, right? This alignment space of bringing everything together under this one perfect message, one business, and that everything is pulled together. You've got a summit coming up, right?
I do. So I just finished one and I'm jumping on another one. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, these women are amazing. And the last time I was on your show, I met Doug, and Doug and I became friends, and he was on the summit. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to reach out after.
Oh, Doug Fireball. I love Doug. Yes. He texts me like at least once or twice a week, and he just says, hey baby, I am praying for you. And I'm like, oh, are you like, do you know like when I need that prayer? Because he just, hey girl, I'm praying for you. And I'm like, dang.
And this is what I love, what Suzanne and Zondra were talking about, because ultimately it's all about connection, right? Connection about, with ourselves, connection with our businesses, connection with other people, connection with other women, what is really our vision. And for me, that's what I bring as a business coach, with using speaking as a way to generate, branding, to generate, being known, generate being an expert, generating leads, generating more clients. But it's truly about, a lot of people think speaking is so out there. And really, when you get to know who you are, when you get to know really deep down what you do, there's no need of memorizing your speech. There is no need, your stories, what you teach, your message, if you have a concise message, then you can put it out there in the world. What we see is people are scared because they don't really know how to articulate what they do. And how can you sell a product or sell a service if you can't articulate properly what you do? And this is what we see in networking. This is what we're seeing on stage as speakers. So yeah, this is what I do. And obviously I'm fired up about it, right? You can tell.
I love her accent. I think every girl loves a guy with an accent, but I can sit here and listen to Katia all day long.
Katia says a lot about one of my techniques is really dropping out of the head and into the heart when you're on stage. And that's the sign of true alignment.
Correct. I love that. And knowing then it's not about us, right? And I always go back to that, because I see so many speakers, they're on stage. It's about their hair. It's about their makeup. It's about, oh, am I going to stumble? Who cares? Nobody's going to remember your name. Nobody's going to care if you really stumble. It's all about the audience. I am there for them. I am there to give. I am there because I want to give them a vision. And really that's what, Zondra and Suzanne was talking about. It's about the vision at the end. We want to go somewhere. And if we can give this to the audience, if we can give this vision and say, hey, I can take you there, then there's nothing to really worry about.
And I think that's what a lot of speakers have trouble with, is getting up on stage and going, oh my gosh, am I going to remember everything? Is it going to be this? Am I going to stumble? Am I going to trip? Am I going to stutter? But it is.
Yeah. And you know what? I love that you said that, because it's not if, it's when. At some point, something really weird is going to happen. And you just need to be ready for it. And you need to laugh at yourself and don't take yourself
But it's
seriously,
not
because it's gonna happen.
like you said, nobody's going to remember that. They're going to remember that one thing that you said that hit them in the heart when
Okay,
Okay,
they needed it.
so let's talk about that. Like, let's get, have you ever had, like, have you stumbled on stage? Have you fallen? Have you forgotten your words? Has your PowerPoint went out? Like,
So I always joke. So I teach my client no PowerPoint, right? I always say we are the PowerPoint, right? If you are entertained, when you have a PowerPoint, I always say, then you give the audience the permission to use this. Unless you're selling from the stage. When you're selling from the stage, then you bring in the PowerPoint at some point. But if you are, you are the PowerPoint, you are the entertainment, and
You
take
want
your
them to
entertainment
look in your
hat.
eyes. You want them to
Yes.
look at you.
But yes, oh my gosh, I have coughed so hard. Like I could not, like, I guess I just swallowed the water the wrong way, and I coughed and I coughed and I coughed. And I told them, I say, well, guys, this is the perfect example of what can happen. You just experience this. So I could make a big deal out of it and ignore that this happened. Or I could just say, hey guys, look, then you just continue, because this is real life. We cough all the time. I have stumbled, almost fell, didn't fall. But I told them, I got back, I was like, look, I was so happy I had my pretty underwear on. That way, if my dress would have lifted, you guys would have been able to see then, wow, you make a joke out of it, because this is the reality.
I think that is the most hilarious thing, because Angel and I were at an event in San Diego, and this is actually where I met Angel. The PowerPoints were not being friendly that day. And so everyone who had PowerPoints, which she was one of them, the PowerPoint was not working at all, like all day long. And then, so me being in the back of the room, I'm hearing all the speakers going, the PowerPoint's not working, da, 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 da. But you have to, as a speaker, you have to be prepared for that. That same time, I was like the hype person, like in the middle of the day one time, and I got up, and of course I'm wearing 4-inch heels, and I stumble over, and the guy caught me. He was like, oh, thank goodness. I'm like, thank goodness for heroes. And I don't know if you remember that, Angel, but I like completely fell onto stage.
I don't remember that. But although I do remember your shoes, so maybe I do remember it. I blocked it out a little bit. How about you, Suzanne? Any stage faux pas or things ever happened to you?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Which one do you want to know?
Thank you for your vulnerability, Suzanne. Come to our corner.
It's a lot of technology issues, unpreparedness from the AV people, or even the people that book you. I'm really adamant to my clients or my students, because I train speakers, that they ensure that the room is set up the way they need it set up in order to deliver what they're delivering. Because I'm a trainer, certified trainer. So when you have a classroom style versus a roundtable style versus different styles of learning, and how you execute what you deliver is important. And I always show up at least an hour ahead, if not 2 hours, because I've had to change the entire layout of a room before. And that's just because you want to make sure that the experience is the best possible learning experience for the audience. And I remember getting ready to deliver a 3-hour workshop for a retreat for deans at a community college, and we couldn't get the machine to work. And I'm like, I don't think I can do this on the fly, because there was so much detail. And I have a different viewpoint than Katia on PowerPoints, because as a trainer, I understand adult learning methodology, and that learners learn more than just auditory. They have to see visual as well. So you're missing.
Well, training's a little different than speaking, right?
Well, yes and no. So thank you for bringing that up, because I help my clients, my speaker clients, become trainer-minded speakers. So that I help them enlist, equip, and engage their audiences to want more of what they have. And that's just a matter of absorption of information. So how do you use some trainer tips tips and tricks to deliver or transfer the information into the hearts and minds of your audience. And part of that is hitting the visual, getting the kinesthetic, getting the auditory, and the digital. All those learning modalities have to be functioning in an audience that you're unaware of, especially because you don't know if they're highly auditory or highly visual, or usually it's a mix. And in order to get that information across. So that I do have a little bit different take on that because of that. But, you know, it's technology, making sure, like, what am I going to do if we can't get this up and running? And really,
did you get it up and running?
We finally did, but what I ended up having to do for a half an hour is get them into an exercise. So I had to pull out an exercise idea in mind, get them into roundtable groups. One of the AV people ran home or something and picked up what needed to be picked up and came back, and we got started. But you have to think on your feet, right?
You do. I remember, you know, I used to do a lot of speaking at expos, and so there was not an hour preparing. Somebody else was on stage. Somebody else had the room. Like, we were just boom, 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 back to back.
You never know when you go with these expos. They're like, okay, angel testing. You're like, oh wait, I'm up.
I guess I'm up. Right? Yeah. So it's a lot of really being prepared so that you can handle the spontaneity that is in the room, right? And so, but I've always said, like, have you ever like spoke at a you know, like for a networking group or something where you're in a restaurant where the acoustics aren't great, this, you know, the AV isn't there, the sound isn't there, there's all this activity and hubbub, right? And I've always told people, like, if you can get through that, right, with all the distractions, it's not a perfect scene, it's not a perfect setting. If you can get through that and connect with your audience, then everything else is easier from here on out. Have you ever
the hard thing to do is doing it during lunch, because the servers are coming in, they're clinking, they're bringing in the plates, and clink, 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 and everybody's like,
taking orders.
I don't have this.
Yes.
And you're gonna still continue to talk.
That's what I specialize in, and helping people really get that attention and keep it, engage your audiences.
And Zondra,
what about you, Zondra?
Right. Well, you've got a TV platform. I will tell you, Zondra, your producers go in and they record with you. I get the phone call afterwards. They're like, oh my gosh, Angel, this was so different. It's like something I've never done before. You guys make it look so easy. It's so different doing it for television. But I know that's a whole nother platform of speaking. But Zondra, have you ever had a faux pas on stage?
Shut up. Oh my goodness. You know, absolutely. So the answer is absolutely. But you know, let me talk about faux pas, because faux pas is the humanality of who you are.
Yeah.
And that levels the playing field.
That's right.
For people that say, I can't get on stage. And I go like, see, I can't come up with the right word. I make fun of myself when I'm on stage. If I can't get it together, I'm like, what in the world, girl? Okay, senior moment. Let me keep moving, because you'll forget words. You know, I don't believe in canned speeches. I don't, you know, none of that. I speak from the heart. But I have to tell you about my most recent one. I got selected to be for the Black CEO Iconic Digital Summit. And, you know, I had 20 minutes to speak. Well, you know, 20 minutes to me is like, you know,
a quick
minutes. I can talk for 50 minutes, 100 minutes. You know, what are we talking about here? So, you know, of course, what I'm going to talk about, digital footprint. I'm, you know, talking about digital footprint and all this and blue rose moments and everything. And I got right to a piece, and I was like, it was like I left the building and I couldn't even come up with a word. I couldn't come up with a segue word. I couldn't come up with anything. And I said, okay, like I'm saying, I just had to like just go on, because it was so crazy. But here's the thing. That evening, I went to the networking event, and I entered the networking event, and people lost their mind. Your presentation was the best one all day. Oh, because it was like 10 presentations in a day. Oh my God, you were so real.
Yes.
So see, that's the beauty of it. Like, I was over there going like, I know they're gonna be like, okay, now what kind of streaming network do you have? But at the end of the day, they were applauding. They were like, Zondra's here. That's how they were. And I didn't know these people. So
It's
to
because
me,
you were real and
Yes.
like, oh,
You were not there and them there. You
if
put
she
yourself
can
on the
do
same
that,
level. And that's the part that most speakers are missing. They're like, oh, I'm here.
yes.
I am. I'm like, come on, get down from your high
That's ebb
horses.
and flow. But I really do believe at this, at this point, like I want to encourage people that are listening to this today, really, don't let anything stop you. I know you may not think you have it all together. I know that you may think, oh my God, these women, I could never do this. Yes, you can. But the answer is yes, you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the genuine, authentic you.
Yeah.
Get in touch with that side of yourself and you will blow the socks off of people,
Yeah.
because that's what really works for me. I'm just being me.
And be vulnerable. When I decided to start sharing my story, that is when people were like, oh my gosh, Tina, I never knew that. Thank you so much. And I sat here and watched you for the last 2 years, or I sat here and did this, and I never knew that. I never knew that. Just the other day I posted something on social media and it was very vulnerable and very open about my story. And I had at least 100 messages saying, I never knew that, because I didn't go that deep into my story. And so many people are like, oh my gosh, here I thought you had this perfect, life on the outside. And that's what they think, and people come on the Angel and Tina morning show like, oh my God, Angel and Tina, you guys have it all together. You don't know. We all have pajama pants on the bottom. We have pajama pants on. We wear yoga pants. We get dressed from the waist up, and they're like, what?
I love what you said, Zondra, because I think people really want to know that they see us on this outside, right? They see us being famous, going from summit to summit, being on shows, TV show. I have my show, and people have really no idea. But I'm like, if I can do it, like I didn't even speak English. I'm an immigrant. I'm telling people, if I can do it, oh my gosh, you guys can do it. I come from really nothing, and I love that you share that, because when we give this hope to the audience, when we give this authentic inside self, they're like, oh my gosh, maybe I can do this, and that's everything.
Yeah.
All right, who's got the ding? Who's got the
No,
ding?
I was just
It
looking.
ain't me. But I was looking around like it was coming out of me.
Yeah.
Oh
Who's
my God.
dinging?
I didn't even see that it was me. I am so sorry.
I don't know, it's not me.
It is like, I think that being a speaker, sharing your story in a public forum, whether that's, in a small group, online to, one to many, right? On a stage, on a TV, on a podcast, when you share your story or you stand in front of an audience, is one of the most vulnerable things that you can do, right? You are serving at the highest level, because there's no hiding, right? There's no hiding behind, there's no taking back, right? You said it, they heard it, and it's all out there for all to see. But right now, somebody needs to hear your story. There is somebody, like Tina said, when she shared it, 100 people reached out to her. What what you've been through, what you've learned, what you've walked through, your experience, your wisdom. Right now, somebody somewhere needs to hear it. And if we don't share it, we're leaving a gap in the world, a hole in the world that only we can fill.
Yeah.
And it is the most powerful way to connect with an audience. It is the most fun way to grow a business, right? The fastest way, most fun way to grow a business is visibility, distribution, exposure. And if you truly want to make an impact, right? If you truly want to make an impact, you have to leverage the power of an audience and learn how to speak, get that messaging out, create your story, and share that in a way that connects with your perfect person, because your audience is out there.
All you need is just that one person to change their life. Like I always say, I want to, just impact one person a day. And if I can just impact one person a day, I did my job. But I think the best feeling in the world is when you get done speaking and you go down the stage and you go to the bathroom and there's like 4 or 5 women in the bathroom going, oh my God, you had me crying. Oh my God. That is like the best feeling when somebody says, I felt like you were talking to me. I felt like nobody else was in the room and you were talking to me. And I'm like, oh.
All right, so these are our speakers that are going to be speaking on the Connect Summit next week, our speaker and media series. We also have 2 panels that will be there, our financial and systems panel, and then also our team building, customer service, and relationship building, which of course Tina is on that panel. So I think we have 11 presenters next week. It is, you can go to connectvirtualsummit.com and reserve your complimentary ticket 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, so you can do the math.
And when you come, you get on a prize wheel. We start giving away prizes like at 2 o'clock, like on time prizes, and you have to be there. So you can register, you're going to get on a prize wheel, but you have to be there in order to win prizes.
You do have to be in the room to win the prize wheel.
Angel, last month we gave over $15,000 worth of prizes away.
Wow.
Sandra Evans gave away a $2,500 prize. I was like, what? Wait, Angel, put my name on the prize wheel.
Put my name in there. So we do give away prizes, right? We want to reward you. We want to say thank you so much for coming. Every speaker gives away a really fun, juicy prize, and you have to be registered on Eventbrite. So connectvirtualsummit.com will take you to the Eventbrite, and you have to be present in the room when we give that prize away. And prizes are going all day long.
The event, the thing on with Zondra was not there. And I took a picture and I sent it to her, and she's like, oh. She like started crying. She's like, oh my God, I was just gonna come back on.
And we did have people, they hopped in and out, which you're welcome to. It's called the Connect Summit because we truly want to connect with you. We want you to connect with our speakers, taking you step by step, helping you to grow your business, your life all year long. In the summit and the series, the speaker team is off the chain, right? Like this is top notch. You've got to meet a couple of them today.
Speakers for the rest of the year on our speaker series team. Every last Wednesday of the month from here until the end of the year, make sure you mark your calendars from 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern. We have panels, speakers, prizes. I mean, everything. Grab a couple of girlfriends, grab a couple of entrepreneurs, grab your team members, go to connectvirtualsummit.com. Make sure you register today. And make sure you stay on from 2 to 7 next Wednesday because these prizes are going to be unbelievable.
Okay, so before we have to say goodbye to this darling group, let's find out what exciting things you guys are working on and how people can follow you and connect with you today. Zondra, we'll start with you.
Well, I am working on Magnetize. It is scheduled to launch at the end of April 29, I believe the date is. And what Magnetize is to pour into people all of the resources you need for the remainder of the year to really make your impact in your digital footprint. You need to have light rings. You need to have, computer monitors. You need to have a little mic. You need to be taught how to become one with the camera. And I'm going to teach you that. So magnetize.media, go check that out. Snag your seat today. And of course, you can always go to beonztv.com and register for a complimentary discovery call, or even Magnetize is there too. So check it out. Love to see you there.
I am so excited for Magnetize. It is a full comprehensive everything you need to create that magnetic media exposure all year long. Everything from A to Z, magnetize.media. And of course, the Angel and Tina morning show is streamed. We are one of the producers on the Zondra TV network. If you've ever thought about hosting your own show, definitely book that call by going to beonztv.com. Katia, how about you? What do you have coming up? What exciting project, and how do we connect with you?
So you can connect with me. You can connect with me with just on any social media under my name, Katia, Katia, Rave, Rave, or Rave, however you want to say it. We have a new series. So last year, right when I came back from Italy, I think I saw you guys where I was the keynote speaker. I started this show, Business Answered with Expert. Well, we graduated from this show, and now we have a daily morning show live on Facebook, 15 minutes, where we really tackle things of life and really leadership. What does that mean to be leadership? Like right now, I'm 100% focused on you, right? Like I'm here, I'm fully present. And when we are fully present with what we're doing 100% of the time, what does that mean into our business? What does that mean to our audience? What does that mean? So every morning, Petit Café with Katia Rave, live on Facebook. We have this. And of course, we have the Have It Allpreneur. How do you show up in your business the same way than you show up on vacation? So connect with me at Katia Rave on all social media, and then you get to see all these great stuff.
And you can hear a fabulous accent.
Well, you can do that on my podcast. We have we have so many things, and we have book number 4 on the way. So yeah.
I have my 4th book on the way.
We're cracking it up.
Yeah. Suzanne, what about you, darling?
Oh my goodness. I'm still in the whirlwind of doing national podcasts for the book launch, doing tons of those, having so much fun reaching different audiences. I am actually looking for some live space now because America will be opening up very soon to get my workshop up and running again. I used to do them every quarter and haven't done one for a year and a half. So I'm very, very excited about getting that going again.
And where are you thinking of doing it? In Colorado or around the country?
Well, I'll start in Colorado again, but gosh, I'll look all over, wherever people want me to deliver this.
Are you connected with Gina Schreck?
No.
Oh, she's got some great spaces that she is actually just opened up her 2nd location. She's going to be opening up a 3rd. So might be somebody fun to connect
That would be awesome.
Sorry, continue.
So, people can reach me at brandascension.com, and there they can find a Kickstarter toolkit. It's a personal brand Kickstarter toolkit that they can get started and thinking a little differently about how they begin to leverage their value position themselves and start fleshing that out. I work with speaker brands all the time, and I have a speaker brand mastermind group that I work with. And we develop the signature talk and really infuse who you are into your delivery, and then list, equip, and engage your audiences to want more of what you have. So just a lot of balls in the air right now. I just was a contributing author. I contributed a chapter after my book launch. I did a podcast and got connected to this woman who's in franchising. And we just launched the book with a bunch of contributing authors. And it's just went to Amazon #1 bestseller just now.
Congratulations. Just now, right? She just right now. She's like, oh, just now I became a bestseller.
Don't be nonchalant about it. You are a freaking best-selling author.
Oh, like that's a big deal.
You crazy. Like, don't be like, just went
over there. It's okay.
I think we do. We tend to downplay some of our successes all the time. And
believe me, I've got a bottle of champagne ready to go. So
okay, very good. Which is, one of the things we do press releases for our clients, and it gives us an opportunity to celebrate those milestones and those successes. And because as entrepreneurs, we're doing things all the time that are incredible. We're launching things, we're publishing, we're creating, we're speaking, we're sharing stages with. And if we don't celebrate that, the world will only, get as excited, right? They'll only get to a certain point. We have to be the pace car for our achievements. And so if you are a best-selling author, right? Pop the bottle of champagne, celebrate that with a press release. We do. I have a ton of stuff. I'm working with Zondra on Magnetize. So excited to have that launch at the end of April. It is everything. It is such a comprehensive toolbox of everything you need to be magnetic in the media. Press releases. We just launched our 14th book, Entrepreneurs of Reinvention, a cute little ebook that we put together. And of course, the Connect Summit. Right? I am just so honored by the speaker team that the Connect Summit is made up of. It's a full team of incredible givers and just experts, professionals, leveling up, supporting each other, collaborating, and showing up to serve you every single month. So sign up, put it on your calendar every single month, and invite others. Don't dismiss this. I mean, this is our year, right? 2020, we were kind of cocooned, right? Developing who we were going to be. Now let's fly. Right now, and it doesn't matter, live, virtual, in person, online, like let's just fly. And there's nothing holding us back except for the excuses. I've always done it this way. I don't know how to do it. It just doesn't matter. There are people that will teach you. They will come alongside. There are resources. They will hold your hand. They will cheer you on. And so make sure you're hanging out with the right people. And with that, I would just say thank you for hanging out with the Angel and Tina Morning Show and allowing us to be that bright start to your day. You can follow me on my website, makeyourbigimpact.com, but truly magnetize.media is the next event that I'd love for you guys to check out, and connectvirtualsummit.com.
Definitely go to the connectvirtualsummit.com. Make sure you get your complimentary ticket. Go VIP, because you're always supposed to go VIP. Grab a couple of your team members, friends, other entrepreneurs that you know, because you guys all know your vibe, your tribe. The tribe makes you vibe. What is it? What you vibe is, I don't know. Whatever it is, bring your people. I'm Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients, knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships, turn them into paying clients. You can grab that free guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. I am also launching Mastering Your Follow-Up Master Course the middle of April, where I'm going to dig deep for 5 days on how to do this one-on-one. You're going to get a workbook and everything. So it's launching soon. We're in the back, my team and I are in the background trying to get all of this out. It's called Mastering Your Follow-Up. So you're going to be able to go to masteringyourfollowup.com to grab that. And of course, you can still grab your book, Beyond Gratitude. It is only $5 on Amazon, still sitting on the bestseller list. Thank you, Jesus. So go to beyondgratitudebook.com, grab your book today. We are so grateful for you, our audience. Make sure you grab your free complimentary ticket to the Connect Virtual Summit. And we are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.